is the idea that we would sell our souls, essentially, to achieve a means. And it's very troubling for me to see this coming from, of all places, a Christian magazine. Let me read one more quote and then get your comments, Paul. This writer, D.C. Ennis, says, once we accept the, quote, no torture though the heavens may fall position is unreasonable, we are faced with a judgment call on the far margins of civic life in a tragically fallen world. I would say no. I would say that if we are going to embrace torture for the sake of the false hope that it's going to produce results, even if it did produce results, we should reject it so that we do not become the monster that we're told we have to slay. Paul, your comments.
Well, if you embrace methods and techniques used by some of the most despotic regimes throughout history and then try and turn that into some kind of American virtue, I mean, that just reflects on you. And yes, read the Tagumbu military report out of Abu Ghraib, you know, raping teenagers with sticks dripping with battery acid. And the other point is the vast majority of these people they took into these camps at Guantanamo and Abu Ghraib were never even suspected of terrorism. They were goat herders. They were taxi drivers. The vast majority of them weren't even properly suspected of terrorism, never mind turned out to be terrorists. So again, torture decreases national security. It actually harms America. So in supporting it, these neocons are not only exposing themselves as anti-American in terms of the spiritual value of opposing torture, they're actually harming American national security.
Yes, they
because
are.
It doesn't work and it creates more terrorists. Every single shred of evidence in every study shows that.
Exactly. Exactly like the drone program of assassination, where we have a chair force back in the United States essentially killing people, massive civilian casualties, which they dismiss as collateral damage, and look at anybody that is of a certain age in the country as a militant. That's the way they excuse it. That's the way Brennan excused it. And they never answer for their crimes. They continue to get away with it. Not only do they get away with it, but they get promoted. Brennan gets promoted from justifying torture. He then goes to be an apologist for the drone program. Then he becomes the CIA director. And they appear to be, when you look at this Feinstein report, they are essentially above answering to anybody, to the Senate, to anyone. They go down and they list 20 different areas that they all blame on the CIA, and they say, hey, they did this, and they misled us on this. They lied to us about that. We didn't know what they were doing. And yet they will not broach the obvious solution, and that is to at least fire somebody. They ought to be put in prison. They ought to have a Nuremberg trial for these guys.
Well, I mean, if they were actually to fire someone, they would have to acknowledge that the entire program was wrong to begin with. So it's never going to happen.
Yes, and they want that power. They want the power that they have. Exactly.
I mean, drone strikes, 95% innocent civilians. And go and watch a documentary like Scahill's Dirty Wars. If you see your brother get massacred in a drone strike, that's going to radicalize you, and that's exactly what's happening. It's creating terrorists in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, that hate America. This is the consequence of torture and drone strikes. And, you know, it does kind of make sense in a long format way of thinking. It creates more reason for more military intervention, more weapons sales. So by its logical conclusion, that's the only way you could support it if you were a neocon who was going down that line of thinking. But in terms of national security, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible for America.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, that's how it is being used, and that's why they're doing it. It's not that they can't figure it out. They know very well, Paul, that this is going to increase tensions. It's going to increase war. That's by design. They want a larger war so that they can sell into it with the military-industrial complex. Let's quickly give a preview, because we're not going to have time to talk about it in this segment, but give a preview of your article up, Police Using Social Media Posts to Determine the Threat Score of Suspects. As I pointed out in the opening segment, it sounds like the 2009 MIAC report on steroids, but of course, it's on a much broader basis as well.
Yeah, this is a software program that police across the United States are using called Beware. I actually got contacted by employees of this company before I came on air, who themselves decry it. Basically, they data mine your online comments, your social media posts, your, quote, recent purchases, to give cops a heads up on how dangerous you might be.
There you go.
Police
That's a preview. We're going to have the rest of that. Hang on, Paul. We got to go to break. Hang on, we got to go to break. We're going to have the rest of that right after the break. That's a preview for you. Stay with us.
This holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving, an in-home freeze dryer from Harvest Right. With your very own freeze dryer, you'll be able to freeze dry the food your family loves. Because we live in uncertain, difficult times, what better way to show your love for your family than to buy them a gift that helps them preserve food they can use now or in 25 years. Go to harvestright.com and find out how you can get your in-home freeze dryer. Layaway is available. That's harvestright.com.
Hey, Boomer! I learned in school today that 60% of our bodies are made of water. Good thing we have the Berkey system. It's the cleanest, best water ever. Mom says it's because the Berkey's filtration system cleans out the bad stuff and leaves only pure, delicious water. I know, right? You love it too. Yeah, I'm thirsty too. Let's go get some. Get Berkey clean water by calling 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653. Or visit goberkey.com.
We've had an amazing year here at Supernatural Silver. We've truly enjoyed the fantastic response from thousands of people as they've tried our extraordinary product, and we're thrilled at the life-changing results people have. Our company email is continually full of happy, satisfied customers who thank us for the help they've received from Supernatural Silver. This holiday season, as you think of gifts to give your loved ones, consider giving Supernatural Silver, a gift that can help provide good health and wellness, a gift that can change lives and make a real difference. In a world where we are constantly exposed to dangerous health threats, give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2014 for 30% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
2015 is almost here, and with it comes those New Year's resolutions to finally transform your body the way you want it. There's a reason over 88% of New Year's resolutions fail. Make this year different by equipping yourself with Oxy Powder, the next level in cleansing the body naturally. Using super oxygenation, Oxy Powder, available through InfoWarsLife.com, gently cleanses the body while you sleep with easy capsules. Tens of thousands of individuals have used Oxy Powder to cleanse their bodies and aid in their transformations. Even InfoWars Nightly News Director Rob Dew has been using Oxy Powder with incredible success.
Took it that first day, then I took it for 6 more days after that. 12 pounds melted off in about a week. I'd say a week, 7 days.
2015 can be different. Diet and exercise are important, but a lot of us have already tried that. Oxy Powder flushes it out. Secure your Oxy Powder at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139.
We all have our own idea about what being safe and secure means. The door's locked, bills are paid, you've got a job that keeps the lights on, and a home to call your own. But what happens when Mother Nature throws a curveball?
I'm telling you, the tape cover.
Are you prepared to live without electricity or passable roads for weeks at a time? Do you even have a plan B? If you do, are you willing to bet your life on it?
Children left with no homes.
And no one's coming to help them.
The first step towards self-reliance in the face of disaster is a visit to MyPatriotSupply.com. There you'll find the absolute best prices on storable foods, non-GMO seeds, emergency water filtration devices, and so much more. All orders over $49 qualify for free shipping in the lower 48 states. Call 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927 and speak to one of our preparedness advisors today, or visit us at MyPatriotSupply.com. Remember, before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight on this Tuesday, December 16th, 2014. We have Paul Joseph Watson joining us from the UK. Before we go back to him, I wanted to let you know that we have a 2-day-only special coming up here at InfoWarsLife.com. It is the Essential Holiday Health Pack. It's 3 of our most crucial nutraceutical formulas. Secret 12, that's our B12 pharmaceutical grade supplement that you can take orally without an injection, Survival Shield X2, and Silver Bullet. All 3 of those for only $59.99. That would be a retail value of $139.85 normally, but you save $79.90. That's nearly 57%. This is only going to be available for 2 days. today and tomorrow. And of course, if you get something ordered by tomorrow, we have guaranteed delivery before Christmas. That's the Essential Holiday Health Pack. That's Secret 12, Survival Shield X2, and Silver Bullet, a 2-day special. Now, Paul, just before the break, we were began talking about, you gave us a preview of your article here, how the police are using social media posts to determine threat scores of suspects. It's bad enough, Paul, that they view the public as a threat. They're told every day they go out, they're going into a war zone. They may not come back. There's so many people in the public who want to kill them that they're being threatened. So they build this sense of being threatened. Now they're giving people an actual score by spying on them. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a software program that's been in use by police departments across the United States since 2012. It ascribes people based on their home address a threat score of green, yellow, or red based on recent purchases and, quote, any comments that could be construed as offensive. So you get a threat score as to how likely you're going to be a physical danger to police based on your recent purchases and social media posts and online comments. And what is the standard for what they consider threatening in terms of online comments? Well, we know, again, back in 2012, Brandon Raub was literally kidnapped from his own home for making what, in comparison to a lot of online content, were tame comments about taking back the Republic while referencing people like Thomas Jefferson, Martin Luther King, and John F. Kennedy. We've seen kids.
They would definitely get a red score. Thomas Jefferson and Martin Luther King would definitely be reds, wouldn't they? A red rating.
Exactly. It's chilling. I mean, kids who post rap lyrics are getting visits from police. And this is what they consider a threat. This is $36,000 a year, again, most of which paid for by federal grants. Again, it goes back to the Department of Homeland Security. They're funding all this. This is why the police keep using it. So it's chilling. Also, they use it to enforce nanny state enforcement codes. So if your trees aren't trimmed properly to the city code, then they can tie your home address to your personality and target you that way. So there's a whole Reuters report on it, and that is just one program amongst others in which they're data mining, going through billions of records to identify Americans as potential threats based on, quote, comments that could be construed as offensive.
Wow, that's outrageous, because when you talk about them going on a fishing expedition on, minor code violations like the way they don't like your trees trimmed or your grass trimmed or whatever, this allows them to essentially go through and look at who they don't like politically and then go dig up some dirt on them. That's the really hideous thing about this. It's something that we've seen before, Paul, when they talk about labeling people as sovereign citizens, or again, this other article where they're talking about labeling them as constitutionalists. They use those labels to essentially get the threat perception up by the police. And we saw that happen in the wake of the Bundy Ranch standoff. Immediately, Glenn Beck had on Mr. Bundy, and he had another person there that was interviewing him, trying to tie him to the sovereign citizen movement, which he had no idea what they were talking about. But they use these labels to try to scare the police into thinking that you're a physical threat to them, because they already tell them that everybody is something of a threat to them, but then they make it very specific and they tie it to people who are opposed to them.
Yeah, and violent crime is the lowest it's been in 40 years. Violent crime against police officers is dropping. So this narrative that the police are being sold that violence against them is increasing and then that everybody's out to attack the police, statistically is not true. And this program could also be abused if they tie you to the wrong address, to an address that somebody else used to live in that has been identified as a threat, could turn you a green rating into a red rating, is the quote, turning a midday knock on the front door into a nighttime SWAT raid. So if they confuse you with somebody else, as they've done on numerous false drug busts, then that could determine you to be a threat as well. They could just confuse you with another person. So it's absolutely horrifying.
Oh, we see people being killed all the time with these SWAT team raids, going to the wrong house. That's not an uncommon occurrence anymore. So that's something that, even if you were in total agreement with Obama and with Boehner, you should still be concerned about this, because they might falsely identify you. But this is a way to purge political opposition. It's the enhancement of the police state. We're going to be right back with Paul Joseph Watson. Stay with us.
We're on the march.